All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be your planer boards 101. See, we've got the rods sitting out. State of Iowa, you're allowed to use 3 rods as long as you have the permit. So I take full advantage of that, especially when I'm catfishing. So you're wanting to learn more about planer boards and how to use them and why they work and why everybody seems to be jumping on board with them. Well, I'll tell you first thing why everybody seems to be jumping on board with them. It will spread your bait out away from your boat. So in other videos, I'll link in the description, it tells you about drifting sideways. Well, one of the things about drifting sideways is it allows you to open your presentation to a wider presentation. Well, when it comes to dragging baits and moving the water, right now we're going about 0.6. So with that being said, when I put this bad boy on, it will actually take the baits away from the boat and create a wider spread for your baits. That way you can cover more ground, catch more fish. It just works. So all right, so here's how we're going to do it. So there are different things that you could use due to these planer boards that better fit your needs. If you're fishing a mud flat, then yeah. So this clip right here has 2 adjustments. A lot of people don't know that. So if you're fishing mud flats, you basically want to keep it the setting that it comes in. It's a pretty light setting. It don't take much to push down on that. And that's basically going to release your line whenever you get a fish on, or if you happen to get a snag. So I like to fish a lot of pebbly, rocky. Sometimes we'll fish ledges and stuff like that to where you could get snagged up just a little bit here and there, but you still want that planer board to stay on unless a fish gets on there. So what I do with these is, you can sit there and see that black clip right there. Basically pull that down, just like that, and it'll clip like that, and you can actually tell by the way you push on it, it takes more pressure to let that flip up. So that'll actually allow your baits to or this planer board to stay on if it gets hung up or something like that, or if you hit a pebble or a rock. But it'll take a bigger fish to release this clip and have your planer board just free flowing on your line as you're fighting the fish. So here's planer boards. Here's how we got it set up. We're fishing about 10 to 12 foot of water. I've got each side rod out about 100 feet. I've got the back rod about 30. That way you're staging your baits. If you have them all set at 30 foot and you get a bite on this one, and all of a sudden this fish swims into this line, then you're gonna have a huge mess. So what I like to do is I like to stage my poles from out to in. Usually in, I'm closer to the boat. To the side of the boat is the ones where I'm usually the furthest away. So my outside rods I'll set, it just depends on the water. If I'm down on Wheeler and I'm rolling big baits, whole skipjack, I'll actually let out 200 feet of line before I put the planer board on, and then I'll let out another 100. So I'll have like 300 feet of line out, as I'm drifting. So but as far as here goes, we got 100 feet out. I'll probably put it on this planer board out here on the outside edge, because I don't want to put a planer board right here because I'm a little closer to the rocks. So I want to go ahead and spread out. Once I get past the rocks, then I'll put a planer board on this side, and I'll really spread out my baits. So as far as hooking everything up, it's pretty simple. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out. All you do is you bring your rod. Your rod's already in the water. It's already floating. I have had sometimes where I've had a fish bite, while I'm putting a planer board on, which is pretty exciting. So here's how you do it. You press down on this, clip it in there. It's just a snap. Just put your line right in there, snap it, and it's ready to go. Here's a little tip for you too. So you just cast it out, you put your planer board on. You want to make sure your planer board doesn't get tangled up and stuff as you're letting out, and you want to do other stuff. So the good thing is to trip your clickers and open bail it, and then what that'll do is that'll actually keep pressure on your planer board the whole time as you're letting line out. Yes, it may be annoying, but you know what? You're actually gonna not get tangled up, and you can do other stuff while you're on the boat. So then when you're done, flip your rail, take your clicker off, and she's rolling, baby. Look at that. You got another bite in the back of the boat already. Is there a fish on there? No, just a pesky little channel cats. If I start noticing on my back rods, if I'm catching fish on those and they're all out 65 feet, then I'll set everything out to 65 feet, but then I'll put it on the planer boards. That way I don't have to run into tangles as much. You know, you don't have to worry about fish running into the other lines. So, all right, so we went ahead and attached the other planer board. We're getting everything started. Look at that baby, just bead right out there, getting where it needs to be. We're going about 0.6, 0.7. Now we've got about a, I'm gonna say probably a 50 yard spread right now. So that's a pretty good spread for just one person, you know, going out the back of the boat dragging. So, but yeah, there's your planer boards right there. Pretty easy to attach. This is why people use planer boards. This right here is because it spreads your baits out. It gets them the lines away from each other. So first of all, you don't get tangled, and second of all, it covers more ground to where you can find more active fish. So say I'm drifting along this ledge right here, or this rock face, and I'm getting more bites on the outside. Well, I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have had the planer boards out further out. So this tells me that the fish are more away from the rock face than they are in close to it. So the next drift I do, I'll move out, you know, 150, 200 feet. I'll put planer boards out again, and that should put all my rods in the fish to where I'll be able to put more fish in the boat and have better chances of, you know, sticking a pig or you know, happens to, you know, catching a personal best or winning a tournament. This is planer boards. This is why we use them. Spread your baits out. Like I said, get a hold of Kevin Parks. He'll hook you up.